Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube page. If you could do me a quick favor, see that little subscribe button at the bottom of your screen? Go ahead, click that subscribe button. Really does help our channel grow, our audience grow, and I really do appreciate it more than you know. So click that subscribe button. Appreciate your support. Now, here's the video that you came here for. What about Reed Sheppard? You mentioned your buddy, Coach Cal. And lay it on me. I'm just going to say it. I'll just say the name, and all I'll say is he seems pseudo-polarizing from the perspective 6'1", 6'2", whatever, without shoes. But then you flip on the game tape, and the guy's everywhere, jumping passing lanes, blocking three-point shots, hitting 52% from three or whatever. What do you make of him as a prospect and anything you have on him?
You know, I was honestly really a great recruiter. I got to say that. I was a real good recruiter. A good evaluator.
Did you push Coach Cal to take him or what?
No, I got to tell you, one thing I was never good at, I couldn't tell if the 5'10" or 6'2" white kid playing in an AAU tournament somewhere was the next Steve Nash or Mark Price or some kid that later on played D3 at Kentucky Wesleyan or something, right?
Yes.
I couldn't tell. I would not have been able to tell you that Steve Nash was going to be Steve Nash, okay? You know what I mean?
Well, no, because I didn't want to cut you off, but the first time I ever saw Reed Sheppard there was an Adidas event. He played on the Adidas circuit. It was in LA, and he had already committed to Kentucky. And okay, father played whatever, but I sat there with some real basketball people, and there were some people like, is that really a Kentucky kid, or is it because his dad, whatever? And it's like, so I was just shaking my head because the first time I saw him, I did not see, it did not scream Kentucky one and done potential top 10 pick. So
let me tell you this. I was doing a Nike Hoop Summit for a number of years on ESPN, right? And so I'd go to Portland, and they would always scrimmage a local team of college players, Portland State, Oregon, whatever. And I remember seeing a kid play, and he was a sophomore in high school playing against whoever that was that year. Like, we could easily look it up. And I said, this kid's pretty good. What college does he go to? Oh, no, he's a high school sophomore. And he was a 5'11" white kid. I go, sophomore in high school? Oh, yeah, he was the state player of the year this year at West Lynn, Peyton Pritchard.
Woo!
Said, wow. And I got to tell you, nobody knew about him.
Wow.
And they were lying. Not one single scouting service had him on. And interestingly, my son James, who played at Oklahoma with Buddy Hield, a couple of years later, he visited Oklahoma, Peyton, but because the next year he was a junior. And the next year he was a senior, and he was visiting Oklahoma because his father played for Barry Switzer.
Oh, wow.
And he committed to Oklahoma. His family is Oklahoma people. And later on, he decommitted and went to Oregon. It was the best thing that ever happened to him. And I didn't know he was that good. I knew he was good because I saw it. But let's get to the bottom line. Somebody's got to be Mark Price or Steve Nash. Okay? Somebody like a Reed Sheppard. Now, here's what he is. He's as good a shooter as I can remember seeing in the last 10 years. And it's off the catch, it's off the dribble, it's in transition. He's the real deal. You know, you can go back, I don't care, Rick Mount in the old days, I don't care who it is, Larry Bird, Chris Mullen. He's a great shooter. So right off the bat, he's got something. He's a sneaky athlete. He's only 6'2", might not even be 6'2". But at the end of the day, Steph Curry, Seth Curry, TJ McConnell, Peyton Pritchard, there's a place for those guys. And would I take them 3 or 4? Not in next year's draft or not last year's draft, but in this year's draft, I understand it. Now, I got to tell you, I love Robert Dillingham.
Okay.
I think Dillingham is the most talented player in this draft, inch for inch.
Wow.
And he played with him, and I just think that kid is going to be undervalued. Wouldn't shock me if the Spurs take him at 4.
Wow.
And what I see in that's a great backcourt. I'm not pitting them against each other.
No.
What I'm saying is they're both really good. If I told you that Robert Dillingham could be Lou Williams for 14 years, okay, one of the best 6 men ever playing in the NBA, you would take it.
No doubt.
Because he's 6'1" or 6'2" also. I think both of those kids are really good. I like Dillingham better. I like Reed Sheppard because somebody's got to end up being Mark Price.
No, I think they're both, and Dillingham, blew me away because Sheppard, obviously, he was 4-star, whatever, rankings don't matter. But like Dillingham, it was like we all kind of knew but it was like game one. He's just flying. He's unafraid. They played Kansas early in the season.